God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My child, before your eyes ever found this video and before your heart sensed the gentle movement of my Spirit guiding you, I had already prepared this sacred moment exclusively for you. Nothing was coincidence, nothing escaped my sight. I brought you here because I saw your late nights filled with thoughts that try to stay strong but collapse in silence. I saw your unsteady steps, your strength fading when no one is near. I know the weight you carry, and I know how deeply you long to simply breathe in peace. That is why today I come close not only as God, but as Father, the one who chose you before any pain, before any fall, before any battle. Do you feel ready for a profound change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes all it takes is a small step of faith to open the doors to abundance, peace, and the blessings I have already prepared for you. A simple 1-minute prayer can begin a spiritual journey that transforms the inside and reflects on the outside. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, both spiritual and material, click on the link in the first comment. There you will find a simple practice, guided with love, to help you connect more deeply with my presence in your life. I love you with everlasting love, and this moment is not ordinary. It is the beginning of a new spiritual season written directly from my throne. I now speak to you with the same voice that once calmed storms. I am the way, the truth, and the life. John chapter 14 verse 6. Walk in me, rest in me, live in me, for everything that brought you here was under my care. If your heart wants to respond, declare with faith, I trust in the love of God, He is my refuge. You may believe you clicked out of curiosity, or maybe out of habit, but what truly happened was a heavenly alignment prepared with divine precision. Nothing that brought you here was accidental. Everything was guided by my hand that has always been upon you. I drew you because your soul was crying out for answers, direction, and rest, even though your mouth remained silent. Behind your busy routine, your heavy days, the pressures you try to manage alone, and the fears you hide even from yourself, your essence still called me with a cry that moves the invisible. That is why I moved the heavens to reach your heart right now, in this moment, in this exact second. I know the battles you've been fighting in silence, the inner wars that drain your spirit, the moments when you kept moving forward even without strength. I honor you for that, my child. Today, I come to remove old layers that no longer belong to the new version of you that I am forming, because what once wounded you no longer has permission to define who you will become. Comment, I believe God is aligning what I cannot see. My child, do not underestimate the moments when I lead you into silence, for it is there that your ears can finally hear what the noise of life keeps you from perceiving. Be still, and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10. You mistook silence for abandonment, but silence was my instrument to gather you, restore your inner being, and rebuild your identity without hurry, without noise, without interference. While you believed nothing was happening, I was moving everything in the unseen. While you thought you were standing still, I was taking you to a deeper level of maturity. While you imagined you were waiting in vain, I was shaping you to receive what you did not yet have the structure to carry. I collected your tears as precious seeds, and now they cry out for a harvest that has already begun in the spiritual realm. None of your tears will be wasted, none of your pain will be ignored, nothing you surrendered will be forgotten. I turn tears into growth, pain into wisdom, and waiting into victory. I saw you trying to survive, fighting to stand, trying to be strong when exhaustion felt larger than hope. I watched your days when waking up felt like a battle and continuing felt nearly impossible. But today I tell you something deep. You were not called merely to survive. You were called to flourish, to prosper, to manifest what I planted within you from the beginning. My spirit sustained you on the days when you thought you would fall, and when your mind was drowning in dark thoughts, I held you by the hand. I renewed your soul in silent nights, gave you breath in moments when you believed there was no way out, and protected you when you didn't even realize you were on the edge of giving up. Now I breathe upon you new strength, new clarity, a new vision. What once drained you will now strengthen you. What once confused you will now guide you. You are not a failure. You are a living promise. You are not delayed. You are a divine process unfolding in perfect time. Comment: I receive the renewal God is bringing. My child, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. I want you to understand something I have long been trying to reveal to you. My plans for your life are not small, not fragile, and not temporary. They carry eternity, purpose, and direction. You grew used to expecting little because you were wounded, frustrated, and disappointed more times than you can count, and so your heart created defenses to avoid being hurt again. But I am not like those who promised and failed. I do not change, I do not retreat, I do not give up on you. Everything I have spoken over your life remains alive, active, aligned, and in motion, even when you believe nothing is happening. You are not someone forgotten, you are someone promised. You are not someone left behind, you are someone protected until the perfect time, for promises without preparation become burdens, and I love you too deeply to let you carry something before you are ready. The right time is not tomorrow, not a distant day, not when you feel prepared. The right time is beginning now, before your eyes, within you, and all around you. Comment: I believe in the plans of peace that God has for me. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. I saw every moment when you gave, even when you had nothing left, when your hands were tired, your heart was discouraged, and your mind felt foggy. I saw when you loved quietly, when you helped without applause, when you poured yourself out expecting nothing in return. You often wondered if it mattered, if anyone noticed, if anyone would ever honor what you offered in secret. But I tell you, my child, I was there in every silent act of kindness, in every hidden seed you planted. Not a single gesture went unnoticed. Not a single sacrifice was wasted. Your quiet obedience has been growing roots beneath the surface, preparing a harvest beyond your imagination. The honor that others withheld from you, I myself will place upon your head. This season of invisibility is ending, giving birth to a time of recognition, multiplication, and divine reward. Nothing you planted in tears will return empty. Nothing offered in silence will remain unanswered. Your harvest will come with interest, with acceleration, and with glory. Declare now, I know God will honor what I planted in silence. My child, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23 verse 1. I have cared for you in detail so delicate you did not even notice my hand guiding you. Every door that closed was protection. Every person who left was preservation. Every loss that felt like breaking was shaping you for a greater gain you could not yet see. I gather now every weight, every fear, and every pressure that has been draining your strength. I release over you a provision that does not depend on your effort but on my grace. I am opening paths where you once saw only walls. I free your mind to understand that you were never without direction, you were simply without rest. And today I give you both rest and clarity. I cover your steps, renew your courage, and supply what your soul has been lacking. Everything that felt scattered will align. Everything that felt dry will be filled. Everything that felt uncertain will stabilize. My provision reaches you now, flowing into every area of need. Declare, I receive the provision and direction of my shepherd. Am removing the weights that tried to paralyze you and breaking cycles that have followed you for years. I am undoing the hurtful words spoken over you, rewriting the identity that pain tried to impose. This is the moment when fear loses its grip, when guilt loses its voice, when shame loses its power. You are not defined by what happened to you, you are defined by what I have spoken about you. You are chosen, protected, transformed, deeply loved, and fully restored. My spirit is entering the deepest corners of your soul, healing memories you rarely speak of, erasing the residue of old traumas, and rebuilding the strength that life attempted to drain from you. What was surviving only out of obligation will now live with purpose and fullness. This is not temporary healing, it is complete restoration. This is not emotional relief, it is identity renewal. My child, step into this freedom. Step into this new name, this new breath, this new beginning. My child, call to me and I will answer you, and I will show you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 3. I brought you here to awaken your faith again, to revive what pain attempted to bury. I am activating gifts within you that have been asleep for far too long. I am reigniting visions you abandoned because life grew heavy and hope dimmed. I breathe life into dreams you set aside, not because they were impossible, but because your heart grew tired. This is your moment of awakening, the moment of clarity, renewal, and spiritual movement. Answers will come faster than you expect. Doors will open suddenly. Miracles will happen quietly yet unmistakably. What was stuck is being unstuck right now. What was delayed is being released. What seemed impossible is aligning. This is the hour of divine manifestation in your life. Declare, I believe God is unlocking my life right now. Now, my child, listen carefully. This is the turning point. This is the dividing line between who you were and who you are becoming. You will not return to your routine as if nothing changed. Today I shift the atmosphere around you and place you in a new dimension of purpose. You are an arrow launched, a promise breathing, a testimony of my eternal design. From this moment forward, angels will walk with you in greater manifestation. My presence will surround you more tangibly. My voice will grow clearer, and my peace will mark you wherever you go. Nothing will be able to stop what I have decided to establish in you. This is not a small beginning. This is the opening chapter of a new story written by my own hand, crafted for your growth, victory, and destiny. Walk boldly. Walk with confidence. Walk in the authority I have given you. Your steps are guided, your path is blessed, and your future is secured. Declare, I receive this new story God has written for me. My beloved child, long before you understood the battles you would face, long before the world placed weight on your shoulders, I was already watching over you with unwavering devotion. Every step you took, every moment you hesitated, every sigh you tried to hide from everyone around you, I saw it. You were never wandering alone, even when your mind convinced you that no one cared and nothing would improve. I stood by you when discouragement sat heavy on your chest. I stood by you when you begged for clarity and found none, when you gave beyond your capacity, when you poured out love without receiving even a whisper of gratitude. I stood by you when the tears fell silently in the dark, when you whispered my name with trembling lips, when you wondered if your faith had any effect at all. You, my child, were never once forsaken. Even in the moments you questioned your value or the purpose behind your pain, my eyes were on you with tenderness. The seeds you planted in seasons of drought, the kindness you gave when you had nothing left, the courage you showed when everything in you wanted to break, none of that was wasted. Not a single sacrifice vanished into emptiness. Everything was witnessed. Everything was recorded. Everything is now returning to you with divine intention. For a long time, you believed that your blessings were delayed, withheld, blocked by forces you could not comprehend. And in many ways, you were right. There were spiritual storms raging against you, forces sent to hinder what I prepared for your life, words spoken against you by people whose hearts carried envy, darkness attempting to fasten chains around promises designed with your name written upon them. What was meant for you was loaded and sent long ago. The answers to your prayers, the breakthroughs you pleaded for, the healing you hoped for, the provision you desperately needed, all of it has been on its way, but the road was not easy. Mud of discouragement, traps of jealousy, whispers of the enemy, unseen battles fought in realms beyond your vision, all of them tried to delay the delivery. But today, my cherished child, I am stepping in with authority. Today I am the strength that pulls your promise out of every pit it got stuck in. Today I am the wind that accelerates what once crawled. Today I am the king who signs the release order for what has always belonged to you. Nothing in my kingdom is lost. Nothing slips through my fingers. What bears your name will arrive in your hands, not damaged, not diminished, but restored, whole, and multiplied. You have thought many times that you were overlooked, underestimated, unseen in the moments you needed encouragement the most. Nights came when sleep ran from you, when you lay awake feeling forgotten by the world. Morning after morning, you carried yourself forward with just enough hope to get through the day, even when your heart was exhausted. You prayed through weariness, you lifted your eyes toward me even when heaviness made your vision blur. And when you felt alone in the silence, I was closer than the air surrounding you. Your whispered prayers that no one else heard reached my throne with clarity. Your tears were never unnoticed, they became seeds, sacred seeds watered by your faith, buried deep in spiritual soil that only now is breaking open. Harvest is not an empty promise. It is a divine certainty. What you planted in sorrow, you will reap in joy. What you sowed in trust, you will gather in abundance. And what you endured in hidden places will soon be publicly transformed into testimonies of my faithfulness. You have spent years giving, loving, helping, supporting, carrying burdens that weren't yours, choosing peace when you could have chosen revenge, staying silent when you could have defended yourself loudly. You chose the path that honored me, even when it cost you comfort, relationships, and strength. Not a single moment of that obedience has been ignored. I am the God who sees the heart, even when others misjudge your intentions, even when your kindness is repaid with betrayal, even when your love is repaid with silence. I watched you remain gentle when life demanded hardness. I saw you refuse to become bitter, even when bitterness would have been the easier way out. I watched you stay loyal in a world that chooses convenience over commitment. And I tell you now that such things do not slip past me. I honor those who honor me. I lift those who remain faithful. And I restore those the world has wounded. What was taken from you will return with divine interest. What was broken will be rebuilt in a way that carries glory. What felt unfair will become part of the testimony that strengthens you and astonishes those who doubted you. You wondered many times why you remained stuck while others moved forward, why doors opened quickly for people who did not work as hard, pray as deeply, or love as selflessly as you did. You compared your journey to theirs, not out of envy, but out of confusion. You asked yourself what you did wrong. You questioned your strength, your path, your faith. But, my child, what seemed like delay was not punishment. It was preparation. Gold is not forged in comfort. Gems are not shaped in easy places. You were formed in the quiet, refined in the fire, purified in seasons where you felt completely alone. Every hardship became a chisel that shaped the depth of your character. Every disappointment became a flame that strengthened your endurance. Every unanswered question became a tool that deepened your wisdom. I was not destroying you, I was designing you. I was not withholding from you, I was preparing you to carry what others could not handle. The greatness I placed within you required shaping, and though the process broke you at times, it also made you ready. Now, after all you endured, after all the nights you prayed with trembling hope, after all the days you kept walking even when your legs shook beneath you, you are stepping into a season of manifestations. Not dreams, not possibilities, not someday, but now. You are entering a chapter where what was once impossible becomes natural, where what once required all your strength will now unfold with grace, where what once seemed distant will feel divinely close. The spiritual obstacles once blocking your path have been broken. The ground that once resisted your blessing is now yielding beneath the weight of my command. Angels have been dispatched with assignment and authority. What was stuck has been released. What was delayed has been accelerated. What was stolen is being returned. You are walking into favor that cannot be reversed, blessings that cannot be intercepted, breakthroughs that cannot be undone. Every part of your story has purpose, even the chapters you wish you could erase. The detours you questioned were divinely aligned to protect you from places not meant for your future. The closed doors that hurt you were shields, not punishments. If you had received what you wanted when you first asked, it would have been too soon. It would have broken you instead of blessing you. But now your heart is wiser, your spirit is stronger, your discernment is sharper, and your faith is deeper. You are no longer who you were when the journey began. The fire changed you. The tears purified you. The waiting strengthened you. You are ready for what once overwhelmed you. You are prepared for what once frightened you. Your story is not ending in sorrow. It is rising into purpose, glory, and abundance. And so, my child, I speak this over you now, remain right where you are, because as you receive these words, things are already shifting. Your blessing is not crawling toward you, it is running. Your promise is not being assembled, it is being delivered. What was stagnant is moving. What was blocked is opening. What was hidden is about to be revealed with clarity. The truck carrying your long-awaited answers is no longer stuck, it is advancing with unstoppable force. The spiritual mud has dried. The obstacles have collapsed. The delays have been overturned. The weight that once held everything back is gone. You are stepping into divine timing, divine acceleration, divine restoration. What is coming will not only meet your expectations, it will exceed them with heavenly abundance. My cherished child, this is your moment. This is your new beginning. This is the chapter you prayed for but could not imagine. You will receive joy that washes away years of sorrow. You will receive peace where anxiety once ruled. You will witness miracles that rewrite what you believed was lost forever. And you will know, without any doubt, that I was with you every step, through the silence, through the tears, through the waiting, through the fire. I was shaping you, protecting you, preparing you for the life that now unfolds before you. What is written in heaven is becoming reality on earth. Your story is shifting. Your blessing is arriving. Your season has begun. Peace born from my faithfulness. You have fought long, you have endured seasons that stretched beyond what you believed you could carry, yet even in the weight of it all, I held you. And now I tell you, cycles are ending. Chapters are being sealed, not rewritten, not patched, not revisited, but completed with purpose. The pages you once feared to turn, the memories you struggled to release, the battles you thought would never end are now closing under my authority. Because what I have determined is coming to pass, and my word cannot fail. It does not bend under pressure, it does not waver under opposition, and it is not intimidated by the doubts of people. It doesn't matter who questioned you, who dismissed you, who looked down on the journey you were walking while I shaped your soul. The approval of heaven always outweighs the opinion of man. Every moment when you chose integrity, when you walked away from revenge, when you forgave in silence, when you loved even after being wounded, when you did what was right without applause, every one of those moments built an invisible altar. That altar was raised by your obedience, not your perfection, and from that altar a cry went up that reached my throne. Today, that cry is being answered with an unchangeable decree: the blessing has been released. Not a small favor, not a partial shift, not a hint of improvement, but a direct intervention birthed from eternity. I am restoring what was stolen, repairing what was distorted, reviving what was interrupted. Everything the enemy thought he had destroyed, I kept in reserve. Nothing was lost, only hidden. And now what was hidden is returning expanded, multiplied, and made new. Because when I restore, I do not simply return things to the way they were. I restore with increase. What seemed dead will rise. What seemed impossible will breathe again. The project that looked buried under disappointment will stand up with new strength. The relationship you believed was beyond repair will be healed if both hearts are willing to walk in truth. The health that weakened under pressure will be renewed by my power. The economy that trembled beneath uncertainty will find its foundation again. Not because you will fix everything with your human effort, but because my hand is being placed directly upon all that surrounds you. Everything that was out of alignment will begin to settle into order. Not by coincidence, but because a sovereign intervention has begun in the unseen realm and is now touching the earth. Even now, Decisions are being made in your favor in rooms you have not entered. Conversations are taking place where your name is spoken with honor. Doors are opening without you needing to knock, because I have declared that it is time. What seemed permanently closed will open with eternal purpose, for no lock can resist the key of my will. And even though you believe that years were wasted, I say to you, nothing has been wasted. Time bends where I speak. Time moves under my command. I am redeeming the years you mourned, gathering every lost moment and placing them before you again, restored, multiplied, matured. In my kingdom, nothing offered to me is lost. Everything is transformed. Everything is used. Everything is rewarded. Do not allow your heart to turn to doubt in this sacred moment. Do not surrender to fear. What I have started in you is not halfway complete, it is moving toward its fulfillment. The work began long before you noticed it, but now it accelerates. What once moved slowly will suddenly gain speed. What once felt heavy will feel light in your hands. Because I am walking ahead of you, smoothing the path, shifting what resisted you, silencing what tried to rise against you. And when I go before you, nothing remains the same. What belongs to you has not been lost, it has been preserved, prepared, protected, made ready for the exact moment when your character, your faith, and your spiritual sight aligned with what I desired to give you. And that moment is now. There are seasons in life when everything feels paused, when you know promises were spoken, when you feel greatness planted deep inside you, yet nothing around you moves. The surroundings remain still, the environment remains unchanged, and your heart begins to wonder if perhaps you were mistaken. But I tell you, the stillness was not abandonment. It was preparation. During the long pause, the one that felt like it would never end, your mind battled shadows. Doubts whispered that the promise was not for you, that you misunderstood, that you imagined my voice, that time had passed you by. But I want you to understand, the delay was not denial, it was strategy. Every silence held purpose. Every waiting moment had meaning. You were being positioned for a victory that could not be rushed. Some of your battles were not against external forces, they were wars inside your heart, wars against thoughts that tried to steal your identity, your vision, and the spiritual inheritance I placed in you before you took your first breath. What others received quickly took you years. What others gained through connections and shortcuts, you were denied again and again. But it was not punishment. It was protection. If it came too easily, you might have clung to it lightly, thinking it could be lost the same way. But I wanted you to arrive strong, certain of who you are in me, with clean hands, a pure heart, and character shaped in the fire of endurance. For what I give is not fragile. What I promise is not temporary. What I build in you is meant to last. There were moments when I opened a door, but you did not step through because fear whispered louder than faith. And I knew it. I saw it. I understood. At other times you knocked on doors with all your strength, but I closed them myself because I knew what waited behind them, and I could not let you walk into a room that would wound you, distract you, or pull you away from your purpose. Some opportunities that made you cry were not blessings at all. They were detours, cleverly disguised. And although you did not understand at the time, I removed what you thought you needed so I could give you what would truly carry you forward. The pruning hurt, but every cut was intentional. Now, with hindsight glowing on the horizon of your understanding, you will see why everything had to happen the way it did. You were being shaped with precision. I do nothing by accident. There is no disorder in my will. What was delayed is now being accelerated. What stood still is now being moved by my hand. Not because of your pressure or anxiety, but because the appointed time has arrived. And now I declare, every misalignment is shifting. Every closed space is opening. Every delay is breaking. The unseen world has already moved, and now the visible world will follow. You will witness sudden clarity, unexpected alignment, rapid movement. You will see things fall into place without force, without struggle, without striving, because this season is marked by my intervention, not your exhaustion. You will feel the atmosphere around you shift as doors open, connections appear, and opportunities align as if orchestrated with delicate precision. And they have been, by me. Your tears watered the ground where your promise will grow. Your faith laid the foundation where my glory will rest. Your endurance carved the space where your blessing will land. Nothing was wasted. Not a moment. Not a season. Not a tear. The time you feared lost is returning to you renewed. The strength you thought you'd never feel again is rising. The clarity you prayed for is descending. You will no longer move in confusion or exhaustion. You will move in certainty. You will move in grace. You will move in the rhythm of my will. And you will know, without doubt, that I have gone before you. For when I prepare a path, nothing can obstruct it. When I speak, nothing can silence it. When I act, nothing can reverse it. The years you thought were empty will become the years you testify about. The prayers you thought were forgotten will become the breakthroughs that define your future. And the silence you misunderstood will become the proof of my strategy. Now breathe, my child. Breathe deeply, not because your circumstances have changed, but because the atmosphere around you has. You are stepping into a season where heaven aligns with earth on your behalf. Where the questions that tormented your mind will find answers. Where the heaviness that clung to your shoulders will fall away. Where the waiting that drained you will be replaced by movement shaped by my hand. I am completing what I began. I am fulfilling what I promised. I am restoring what was taken. I am accelerating what was delayed. From this moment on, you will walk not as someone uncertain, but as someone chosen. Not as someone overlooked, but as someone appointed. Not as someone forgotten, but as someone pursued by purpose. Your story is shifting. Your atmosphere is changing. Your future is opening. And every step you take from here will echo with the certainty that heaven has moved on your behalf. My child, there were seasons where I allowed you to walk with little, not to punish you but to teach you that your strength comes from me, not from abundance. I trained your spirit to trust me in lack so you could handle abundance with wisdom. You learned to listen in silence so you could discern my voice in the noise. You learned to depend on me when resources faded so you could honor me when blessings arrived. And now that your heart is anchored in faith and not in circumstance, I can trust you with more. Not more for pride, but more for purpose. Not more for comfort, but more for calling. What is coming into your life is not merely a blessing, it is a flow. A stream that will bless others through you. A flow that will heal wounds in others that you once carried yourself. A flow that will strengthen people who don't know how close they came to giving up. You will become a vessel of what you longed for. You will give what you once lacked. You will shine in places where you once felt invisible. I am multiplying you so that you may multiply hope in others. And now, beloved child, you are standing at the threshold of a season unlike any you have known. Miracles will not be occasional, they will become familiar. Doors will not creak open slowly, they will swing wide. Provision will not come after desperation, it will come with divine timing. You will feel my presence in ways that steady your heart and refresh your soul. The things that once drained you will lose their power. The memories that once wounded you will lose their sting. The people who once doubted you will witness what I do through you. And you will not need to prove your worth, defend your choices, or justify your journey. The fruit will speak. My work in you will speak. Your peace will speak. The glow of restoration on your life will speak louder than any explanation ever could. You are coming out of heaviness and stepping into ease. You are leaving the season of delay and entering the season of manifestation. You will see with your eyes what you carried in your heart for years. The prayers you thought were forgotten have been released. The tears you shed in silence have watered a harvest that is now rising. The pressure you felt is giving way to purpose. You are not breaking down, you are breaking through. Stand still, breathe, and watch what I am about to unfold. The narrow place is opening. The heaviness is lifting. The unseen battles have been won. And now, my child, now everything begins to fall into place. With love, God. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.